George, trying to fleece or the T-man. Happily married to a beautiful woman called Connie. Love two beautiful kids, Mary and Dean. Daughter-in-law. I'm 31, bloody hell. I'm 61 years old. Thanks, Mark. 61 years old. 61 years old. I do look 31, like some people say.
That's why I threw that in there,
Yeah, I know, and I was convinced I was 31. Yes, I am 61 years old. Actually, 61 in 2 days' time, actually. So I'm celebrating a birthday as well. So this stroke was the best birthday present I could have ever asked for.
There you go.
Beautiful daughter-in-law, lovely granddaughter, my beautiful angel, and I've got a grandson coming in about a month's time.
Woohoo! How exciting is
that? I
That's
know. It's gonna be it's gonna be great. It's sort of like I didn't expect to I honestly, I got to say, I didn't expect I would be around. The stroke that I had was a major brain hemorrhage overseas. And and I'm here. So, and my dream was to be alive, and I can't thank enough of our Lord. And it's great to be back again.
There you go.
On your show. It's great to be back again on your show. Yeah.
Love it. So we still have a little feedback, but it's not as bad as last time. So I think we're good.
Oh, great.
So when the purpose of bringing the people on after the Strokeaversary is to find out like how they have been doing post-stroke. Mm-hmm. When I have brought on guests, we've been kind of focusing on what has happened when they had their stroke, what they went through, and all that stuff. So for the Strokeaversary episodes, I want to focus on the ins and outs, what exactly you have done, your raw feelings, going through it and up to now. So let's talk about right when you got out of the hospital. Good evening, Farron.
Hey, Farron, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Because So we're both in a lot of these groups, George. So we know that a lot of people do struggle. So I know this is a monumental moment for you as far as the Strokeaversary part and all that. And I don't mean to take you back to those times where they're extremely hard when you first got out of the hospital, but it's extremely important for the people that are in the support groups that we're in, so that they can see and connect and realize, what, George is going through what I'm going through right now, or has gone through what I'm going through right now, and look where he is now. I can relate to that. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit, of what was happening after your stroke, George.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Mark. Well, look, when I left the hospital, I got to admit I was scared. Like, I didn't want to leave the hospital at all, either in Greece and also here, because they release you, but it's a scary world out there, and I was scared. And when they did pick me, when my kids picked me up and brought me back home, I stayed in the car for about 15 minutes because I didn't want to leave. I was petrified, and that's when things were starting to think, gee, am I going to get through it and whatever? Like, you're in hospital, you got doctors looking after you, and then you're at home with your family, and things were going through my mind. But then, you know what? Once I walked in the house, yes, I was nervous. I was like a little 2-year-old, 1-year-old sitting in the corner, scared to talk to people, scared how they're gonna, like, react. Like, you walk out normal, you come back with dragging a leg, dragging an arm. And even now, you normally sit down, you wonder, like, how did it all come about? But then it didn't bother me after that. It didn't bother me at all. The best support I could I could just advise people, because what I did is your family, your wife, your kids. They're the ones that are going to support you. They're the ones that are going to they're the ones that are going to hurt for you, but then they're the ones that are not going to put you down. And I noticed a lot of that. Like, I was never pushed to do things. It was up to what I wanted to do. And I always remember my wife kind of kept saying, it's what you want to do. And then when I had to go back to hospital for 12 months for rehab and physio. And I was starting to enjoy myself even more and more, because I was going through as an outpatient, and I had a good physiotherapist lady. She was incredible, and I persisted, and then I just changed automatically, and I was enjoying. I was. I don't know if you're still there, Mark. Everything's froze. Hello, Mark.
Are we here? Man, that was brutal. All right. Holy shit, bro. Can you see me? There we go. George. Oh my gosh. Hey, we're back. What's up, man?
Nothing, mate.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Well, the circuit, I guess, or something popped
Oh, right. Okay.
in one of my rooms. So, yeah, that's why the charger wasn't working.
Okay. So what are we doing now?
Did you hear? You didn't hear any curse words as it was dying out? Did
Yes.
you? Oh, you
Yes.
did actually?
Yeah.
Oh
And then I
shit!
saw all go dead. I go, okay, that's it. No worries. Wait for an invite again. So
Yikes!
yeah, I just saw a froze mode. I saw you in freeze mode, and that was it.
So you did hear the curse words? Whoops!
That's all right, mate. We can all
Whoops!
curse, mate. It's understandable. Like that's what we're up against, mate. People don't treat us
Yeah,
nicely. So yeah, I
yeah,
copped a lot of that at shopping malls. So,
yeah.
but yeah.
All right. So,
So what
anyways, I'm standing in my room.
are you standing?
Uh, I'm standing in my room right by the bathroom, where the only place where I could find a plug. So it's super dark. But yeah. So where we were, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get over here. Yeah, I can get over. So where we were was we were talking about. I didn't. Oh, good. Tommy didn't hear the curse words. We're good. We're good then. So what we were talking about was, we were focusing on, how we have in the groups, people that are going through,
Yeah.
the stroke and whatnot, and you know, um, so when they see, what George went through what I'm going through right now, and he's at where he's at now, and then I asked you, what you can or how was life when you were getting out of the hospital. You talked about you were being scared of getting out of the hospital because, um, you know, naturally, you had all these doctors around you,
Yeah.
who knew what was going on, right? And then
Correct.
you were going home, to your household who have no medical background, but
Correct.
at the same time, you're gaining, the support of your family,
Yes.
emotional support, which is a huge aspect of it. So I think that's about where we left off.
Yep.
I think I think that's about where we left off.
And yeah, and continue on to that, and I think I never and when I was relaxed the next day, I never my mind wasn't really focused on the so-called words that everyone used. Why me? Why me? Why me? I just sat around, looked around, and said, "Hey, I'm blessed. I'm alive," and that was it. So from then on, I thought about it, and I said to Connie, you know what? I'm not going to sit on a couch like I've met other patients that were in strokes, and they were happy to sit on couches and be pampered by the family, and I didn't want to use that, and that's when I said one thing. I wanted to do things on my own, and didn't want to be pampered and say, bring me this, bring me that, because I have seen people that do that, and for me that wasn't an option in the dictionary. No way I was going to, because they went through a lot with a stroke, they ain't going to go through a lot after the stroke. So I started going for 12 months straight to a physio, a rehab at the hospital. And it was enjoyable. It was scary in the beginning because I was falling over, getting up, falling over, getting up. But it's part of the rehab, guys. And if you can get up and fall down and get up, you've achieved
You know you're doing.
mentally.
Yeah, you know you're doing something right.
Exactly. Yet for me, I needed to fall down because so then it tests you. Are you going to get up? And I've always said it. It's a test from above. And everything Lord has given a task, it was a reason for it.
Yep.
Now, if time gets permitted later on, I would like to talk about the down things that I know will affect a lot of other fellow survivors, but how I overcome them. And some of them was pretty horrendous for me, but at night I thank the Lord. I say, thank you for giving me that test. I hope I passed. But apart from that, look, I just had a positive attitude. Like I'd get up, I'd do me walks, and you do walks every day. You walked around. I did physio stuff, did physical stuff at home, but I never gave in.
Yeah.
And meeting a lot of your guests and meeting them on the phone. In that, every one of them has a specialty, and I noticed a lot of your special guests, they continued on. We had the poet Yvonne. She could have given up, but she
Mm-hmm.
kept writing books, and those
Yep.
poems they hit you where it
Yep. They're
hits
beautiful.
you.
Yep.
They are, and it's true. Like from the moment she had it, and I keep reading them over and over and over again. And salute, like all these guests, and there's a lot more that I could say. They've
Mm-hmm.
always had a story, but not one I heard gave up. We kept going. And that's what I want to stress to people out there, that we're humans. We're not a special basket case. We're
Yeah.
and we're trying our best. We're trying to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And but I have a lot of friends. We go out a lot. We talk a lot. They stir me up. They nickname me everything under the sun, and I love it. I love it. I won't say what names, but those guys know who they are, and but I
George,
love it.
I'm only gonna bring this up
Yeah,
only
you can
because
bring that up, mate. You
I
can.
oh no, it's a story. I'm only gonna bring it up only because it can be relatable, and I know you'll be comfortable about talking about it. Okay,
Yep.
so why don't we talk about when you decided that you wanted to go to the gym. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. Like
Yes. So
a lot of gyms here, um, they were knocking me back. They were saying, "Oh, liabilities, insurances. We don't take on disabled or special needs." And it was disheartening. Like it wasn't our fault. We just want advice because in the hospital, once they reach a percentage, they can't help you anymore. It's up to you what you do after that. And that's what my physio told me. He said, George, unfortunately, you've reached your goal way ahead of schedule. Like, should have taken 2 more years, but we can't teach you anymore. It's up to
that's because
you.
you're Superman, George.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll let you say that. Yeah. No, but that was the thing. And that got me off guard. I'll go, oh, okay. And that's when it's up to us once we leave. Do you want to continue or you're happy with a walking stick or a walking frame or whatever? So I spoke to my personal physio and said, look, why don't we try a gym? He tried knockbacks, knockbacks, knockbacks. Then there was one little one just down the road where I live, a little corner one. I said, well, let's give this one a go. I could say no, but at least we tried. And then I went there and walked in there scared. I went with Connie, and first I think I went with Connie. And I walked in there and she goes, yes. And I said, look, I just want to ask, you can say no. I just wondered, do you accept disabled people in your gym? And the answer I got was like, it took me back. And she goes, and I remember her words, darling, is there a problem? I just like, I was quiet for a minute. I didn't know how to, I said, well, I've had a stroke, a major brain hemorrhage, and I just want to build myself up, the upper part of the body. And she goes, well, I'll take you on a tour. So when I went on tour on this gym, I met all these other guys, muscle guys, doing all their work and that. And it was daunting on me, like, shit, these guys are on roids. Like, how am I going to be accepted? I'm dragging a leg, I'm dragging an arm, and and then she called them all over, and I'm going, oh, Connie, what's happening, And this girl is like the most petitest person, but you don't want to upset her. She goes, this guy is George, this is Connie, he's had a major stroke, he's been knocked back from a lot of gyms, and I want him to come here. And then suddenly they said, well, welcome. And from then on, Connie had the biggest support. They used to help her with a lot of the weights, to help her with weights and that. And that was it. But there was one funny instance, like, she's going to hate me when she sees this. Like, there's a certain weight you got to pull, like a rowing thing.
Mhm.
And if you let go, that goes straight into the wire, into these long wires.
Mhm.
So I gave it to Connie, and all of a sudden, Connie just went flying into these things. I don't know what it was, but I fell off in laughter. Like, and these guys came over worried about her, not worried about me, but
Yeah.
worried. He goes, oh no, it's all right. And these weighed about 50 kilos. So, and and then I thought to myself, mate, that was it. Everything just changed. And I had the most happiest smile, even up to today, while I'm talking to you. Nothing worried me in that respect. And we had a lot of fun. And those guys have been so, so supportive. Like every time I used to walk in, unfortunately with COVID,
Yeah.
we've got to stay away from it. But every time I walked in, they'll be watching me. Even though they're doing their weights, they make sure I wasn't allowed to walk. But it did me good. And psychologically, that was family.
Yeah.
Now, I hope there is gyms in America that can please look after us, like we don't ask for much. We don't ask to use the muscle things. Please accept us in your gyms. We're not leprosy. And I've said that
Yeah.
we don't have a disease. It's not our fault.
Mhm.
It happened. Could have been, like I said, as mine was stress, more stress than anything, and blood pressure. And then after that, everything was going good, everything. But then I think God said, okay, George, now I'm going to give you some tasks, some tests. Now, these were tests but guess there is a good outcome out of this. So bear with me. I had a few incidences, Mark, because you've been my major support behind the scenes of what to handle. I was at some school crossing the road. These young guys allowed me to cross. I said thank you, but all of a sudden they did a burnout. Now, I stumbled backwards, and these are in the early stages of walking. Stumbled backwards, I hit my head on the telegraph pole, and they just said, sucked in, you retard, and they made fun of me. Now, in those minutes, it upset me, but then I thought, sorry the language, stuff you guys, went home. Connie said, what's wrong? I said, I just bumped my head on a tree when I was walking. I didn't want to tell her the truth because I handled it. So there was no worries. And then at the shopping malls, I'd get knocked down, I'd get abused. Watch it, you retard. Watch it, you spastic. You drunk. It was all right. I didn't care. Next time I used to carry a little empty bottle of vodka, empty bottle of vodka with water in it. So I'd walk that with me, like if they reckon I'm a drunk, okay, I'll play on it. So I'd walk.
Play the part. Play the part.
I might as well, and so I'm walking my exercise with a bottle of vodka with, it was like I made fun. I made fun of it because they're making fun of me. I'm going to enjoy it. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, drinking away, drinking vodka, but it was actually water. Well, if I'm drunk, I'm drunk. I can't get it through their brains I can't keep telling everyone I had a brain hemorrhage, I had a stroke. Screw you guys. So, but then I think recently, I've forgotten about it, but it's sometimes I read other ones that trolling. Now, I'm going to put it bluntly. Trolling, I saw what a troll looks like. Have these trollers ever looked at themselves in the mirror? You guys are ugly. You trolls are ugly. I saw trolls and I'm going, my God, like Lord of the Rings, that one, that little thing that's hid in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen Lord of the Rings?
Yep.
That's a troll. Now, you want to be a troll? Now I know what you guys look like. But this person, I withdrew. And this was the first time ever I think the brain was starting to unfortunately kick in. And I was on just a normal, like one of those, legitimate sites like Walmart and whatever you'd like, or MasterChef. And the comment I made was like, I never been to a fine dining Vietnamese restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10,000 comments, all the same. But because I wore a jumper and my profile's a jumper as a stroke survivor, I survived. This person picked on me. And then I realized these people pick on vulnerable. And the comment she wrote was, oh, a stroke survivor. Geez, I hope the next strike finishes you off. So I left it. But I think I rang you 2 days later because then she got vicious and I wasn't replying. I was advised by you, Mark, and a few people, block them, ignore them. But you can't block these sick people because they hide under legitimate names. And then the 7th day came and she sent me photos of coffins. She goes, I've picked these coffins for you. You're going to die. You retards are giving us a bad name. You're walking around the streets and you want us to feel sorry for you. And then it hurt me. But the next day, I did my prayer. I said to God, was this a last test you're giving me? How am I going to cope that stuff? Because each test was a test from above. But I think this was a final test. If I could pass this, that was it. So I did my prayer that night. And I said, please, you gave me this test. I've passed it. I've ignored it. I've moved on, this and that. So they're the things that all disabled people, and I'm just talking for myself, but I know the ones that got disabilities like quadriplegics that are in wheelchairs. I know they're copying that
Mm-hmm.
because this mob targets disabled people when I found out. So they had nothing to do. So, and that was it. And from then on, it was like hunky dory. I didn't say, well, mate, I'm alive. Eventually, I tracked that person down. Hey, I'm alive. Do better than that. I feel sorry for you because I seen what a trial looks like. You must be some ugly person. And that was it. I just screw them. Sorry to the French, screw them. But apart from that, mate, hey, I've been living my dream. I've got a new grandchild coming in a month and a half time. Yep. So granddad going to be pretty busy with them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I think
And
they're
this
going to
is
test.
number 2, right?
This is going to be number 2, all right?
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, my daughter-in-law's already informed me to open another account and put money in there and there. Yeah. Anyway, but look, I think we've all got stories, and being here 3 years now, I never expected it. I was going to make it, being truthful, but with the support of fellow survivors. And always remember, you had a guest when she told this neurosurgeon an advice. Get your head out of your books and listen to the survivors. And I think that's what it got to come down to. Like, the doctors are fantastic, yes. They go by the book, yes. But listen to what we are going through internally. You go to a psychiatrist. I'd rather go to a psychiatrist that's had a stroke. Then we can relate. But how can you go to a therapist that hasn't had a stroke, if you know what I mean?
No.
You know, and no, apart from that, everything's been going good. Still do me walks, still have fun. I don't go shopping with Connie that much now because I'm embarrassed in the early stages, like, in shopping malls. So that's what you get when I sit in a wheelchair, Don't leave me in front of a shop because then I'll start singing and asking for money. It's things like that now, you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to say it. Like, when I was in the wheelchair, 1 month after the hospital, we went to a local shopping mall, and Connie multitasks. She my thing was like the Titanic, back and forth. I was getting dizzy. I did not know she was on the phone, talking to her son, window shopping, and she's using one hand for the trolley. Now, I'm going, what's going on? And I'm looking at this, what are you doing? I said, I'm on. I said, hang on, you're supposed to be concentrating what you're doing on me. Okay. And then suddenly, these dumb girls always on the phone, they don't part. So Connie's got to move around them. And I said to Connie, look, level with me. And she knew. I go, don't. I said, no, live with me. It's all right, darling. Look, what's going to happen? Yeah. So, and there's 4 girls coming towards me, all on the phone. They must be texting each other, not talking, maybe texting to the girl next door. And then I go, Connie, keep walking. But they're not going to move. Just keep walking. As I was getting closer, I don't know what overcome me. I started banging my hand against my head and screaming loud, like, and you should have seen these girls just opened up. I said, Connie, let's walk. And poor Connie,
You parted the girl sea.
we parted the girls' sea, and Connie was going, oh my God, if someone saw us, goes, so what? And ever since then, it was like, and that was when I just got out of hospital. And ever since then, it was just laughter all the way. It was like I was having fun. And up to
Yeah.
now, I'm still having fun,
There you go.
and I'll go to a cafe and I keep complaining, where's the disabled park? And, I can't drive. I said, you should be putting one in front. My mate's got to park 5 streets away. And I used to, don't you think about us retards, look what we're going through, and they don't know how to take it, but
Yeah.
that's what we are, man.
And and it's just like Farron said, the world is full of cruel people these days, but a real champ can turn the other cheek and learn to ignore their negativity.
That's true, Farron. That is so, so true. In the beginning, it was hard, but then
Hmm.
afterwards, Farron, I just said, after I looked what a troll looks like, I'm going, and we are reacting. I feel sorry for the young generation. Those poor kids, they don't know who to turn to, and I feel sorry for them. I really, really, really do feel sorry for those kids, and my heart goes out to them because those trolls, they can pick your sensitive spot. Maybe there should be a group on Facebook, on social media, an anti-troll group, to help these kids, with us with disabilities. I would love to help those kids to say, look what I went through. If you need help, there's people out there. I don't know. I do still feel sorry for them, but trolls, when you look at them, they're bloody ugly.
Hmm. Hmm. I hear that. Yeah. I definitely developed the decaf attitude
Yeah,
uh, about what people think at a very
yeah,
young age.
yep,
Um, and I the only people that I really care about who think of what they think about me are those that
yeah.
I truly care about and those that that I love and those that I truly care about. If you don't fall
That's
in
it.
if you don't fall in that category, I could care less what you think about me, and that's really honestly, the mentality,
That's
you know,
true.
that we need to
That's
have these
true.
days.
I've
Like
met. Yeah,
you know, yeah, and like you said too, you had that instance where where you were walking across the street and whatnot, and they peeled out and said what they said to you,
yeah,
and those are a dime a dozen,
yeah.
and those are the type of things that need to make our skin tougher and
It
need to
did.
eventually let it roll off her back. You know.
But that last one, I think, if lucky that part of the brain was affected, the emotional part.
Hmm.
But if that emotional part wasn't affected, I could say that I wouldn't be here because
Yeah.
it really, I think that was a final test to test the faith.
Hmm.
And I think it was faith against whatever they were. But I overcome it, man. I overcome it, brother.
Yep. Yep.
And plus, I've met a lot of people through you worldwide, and we've all kept in contact, and we all laugh and this and that. And we're meeting a lot more and lot more, lot more. And I'm blessed. And I'm
100%.
blessed. And I'm blessed that I've got the most beautiful family that I could have asked for. I've got the most beautiful friends. I've got an extended friends now worldwide. And yeah, I am very busy. I am very, very occupied with a lot of things. I had to pull back from certain projects, but I'm hoping next year I might get back into it.
There you
But I
go.
just want to get myself well, And this COVID hasn't done nothing to me. I just sit back and I laugh.
Mhm.
I laugh. You know, I hear what you've been telling me over there, and it's sad. It's sad now from a little so-called disease it's become something different.
Mhm.
Same with here. From a COVID, it's become the lockdown laws. But anyway,
Yeah. So
that's
just
nothing to do with my stroke.
yeah, just to recap.
Yep.
So just to recap, today we are celebrating George T. Mans, since I can't nail his last name down.
Yeah, don't bother, mate. Don't even bother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we're celebrating George T. Mans' 3-year stroke anniversary, that's what the show was all about. Now I do plan on having more of these. So if you want to come on when it is your Strokeaversary, come on and let's talk about how you have been post-stroke. Let's do it. Now, George,
Yeah.
last time you shared the Greek message. Do you want to do that again?
Oh boy. Oh gee. Thanks for. I don't have it with me.
Well, then just share a regular one then.
I'll let you, mate, because my voice is gone. My voice is gone really crackly. You know. I'll let you. Oh, don't, Mark. Just my voice has gone really crackly.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this community and joining forces, bringing people in to our lives so that we can share our testimonies and inspire and motivate each other, as we know that you do bring people into our lives. You do bring certain circumstances in our lives. We do not know the whys. It is up to us to decide if we want to accept the challenge, persevere, and overcome. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. George, thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you for having me,
brother.
I hope I haven't bored everyone out there. I hope I haven't, I hope I've helped, and just be tough.
Hey,
be tough.
We're called Stroke Warriors for a reason, man.
That's it, mate. We are the warriors.
Yep.
Okay. Salute. Mahalo. Aloha.
I know, right? Aloha.
Salute.
Kali, lalu.
Whatever.